Hi Virgo and Virgo rising. This is your October 2016 forecast. So September was a pretty rocky month with 2 eclipses and one very notable one, the annular solar eclipse in your first house. So possibly a lot of changes and radical restructurement, in terms of self-management and self-care and how you present in the world. So a lot of fundamental changes, but perhaps in an unpleasant way. Well, October is going to be a lot more balanced and settled, so, things are going to even out a lot more. Jupiter, which moved into Libra in your second house on the 9th of September, is really getting an inauguration from the new moon, which will be in your second house. So Jupiter's sun and moon will be joining your second house sun and moon. So this is very positive in terms of self-worth. Jupiter is going to enhance your confidence in your own abilities. And with the new moon here, it's going to showcase like a lot of opportunities to generate income. It's all about financial affairs this month. How can you make more money? How can you restructure your finances? So Jupiter's not really going to be inclined to budget, but it's in your second house. Jupiter is really going to give you that necessary, like I said, confidence, belief in yourself. It's going to do wonders for your self-esteem, and it's going to be there until October next year. So with the new moon on the 1st of October in your second house, you really want to use the first 2 weeks to make practical plans of how you want to generate income, how you want to budget, plans around things that are going to make you feel more settled and secure and established in the world. So lots of auspicious signs to get that moving. So take those steps, because the new moon is also sextiling Saturn, so that can take the big dreams that Jupiter often promises. Jupiter can bring a lot of opportunities around travel and learning and good for business, but at the same time, sometimes these things can remain kind of pie in the sky, but Saturn's going to help get things going, like a structured plan. It's going to be good for goal setting. So take those steps and think about how you can make yourself financially more secure, and use the blessing of the new moon to get things off the ground. So other important features this month are Mars in Capricorn. Mars is going to be in your 5th house. And the 5th house is about how we enjoy ourselves, how we have fun. And Mars in Capricorn is very strong indeed. So this is a very energetic placement. It's good for sports and activities where we burn off a lot of energy. Now, because of the focus on the financial sector of your chart, Mars in the 5th could make you take more risks in terms of speculative ventures, because, gambling and, those kinds of risky business schemes are indicated by the 5th. So this could give you a lot of confidence around things that you want to launch. The 5th house is also creativity, so it's going to be good for getting personal business projects off the ground, things that you feel passionate and inspired about. Mars in Capricorn is very industrious. It's on top of things. It wants to get things done efficiently. It's very pragmatic, so very constructive. So all this excess energy, some of it you're going to have to siphon some of it off. And Mars in the 5th is all about enjoyment and pleasure and fun and romance. So this can be good for dating and getting out there because of increased confidence. But it's also good for physical exercise and activities. So do things that are fun but involve energy, so that you can let off some of that excess steam. So for the first half of the month, Venus is in your 3rd house in Scorpio. And this is going to be good for creative communications, artistic expression, so performance, art, creativity, generally speaking. But it's also going to smooth communications. It's going to ingratiate people towards you. So they're going to be very responsive to what you have to say and your style of communication. In the later half of the month, it will move into your 4th house, where it's going to be good for resolving conflicts with family, good for beautifying the home, good for harmony in the home. So it's going to help you connect with family members and, like I said, to beautify your home. And so lots of very good settled and established energies. So let's look at what's happening for the rest of the month. And so on the 4th of October, that's when Sun and Saturn sextile. So like I said, this is very good for getting projects to the ground, for getting your foundation stable and secure, for setting goals and for constructive activity. And like I said, it's going to be a lot a lot of it's going to be around generating incomes and ways to enhance how you feel about yourself in a positive way. So, like I said, get these things off the ground now. On the 5th, Venus is going to sextile Pluto, and this is a very good aspect for relating to other people. Pluto's in your 5th house, so it's good for intensity around romance and sexual connections, but also good for interacting with children and for creative expression. So very, like I said, very good for enhancing the depth of your connection to other people. So this could be romantic partners or children. Mars is also going to be squaring Jupiter at this time. So this produces a lot of energy. So, this could be the time to go on a date, or to take a chance. So if you want to invest or if you want to take a chance and go on a date, there's going to be the energy and confidence to do so. Just don't get ahead of yourself. The excess energy here could be potentially problematic, but very good if you need to take a risk or take a chance. So on the 7th of October, the Sun is going to square Pluto. This is from the 2nd to the 5th house. This can show a bit of a power struggle or dynamic. So possibly, tensions, could be with a romantic partner or with a child, but a very constructive aspect for getting to the bottom of issues. Because Pluto really makes you dig deep and brings things to light with the Sun in difficult aspects. So it can be a constructive aspect to get to the bottom of things. And, power conflicts don't always have to be intense and ugly. They can clear the air. So on the 11th, Mercury is moving into your 2nd house and conjuncting Jupiter. So these two planets together in Libra, very good for business negotiations, very good for concluding business. Mercury is very detail orientated and Jupiter is very expansive, or sees the bigger picture, let's rather say. So, it helps you take a comprehensive view of things. And that's enhanced by Mars sextiling Neptune on the 11th. So these two aspects together can work together very well, because Neptune is going to take off some of that excess steam of Mars, so you'll be more reflective, you'll be feeling a little bit more imaginative, so more inclined to take a relaxed look at things and to really get the big picture. So, like I said, good if you want to conclude business or initiate business, and could be potentially good for generating sources of income and launching those sorts of projects round about now. So, on the 13th, Mercury is going to square Mars, and this aspect is a little bit more heated. You can find you're a bit more argumentative and tetchy and, opinionated and defined. So, you want to watch harsh words, especially with nearest and dearest. So don't blow your top, try and constructively thresh out issues. But because at the same time, Mercury is going to be sextiling Saturn, and Saturn, and Mercury together, you can take a little bit of a gloomy view of things. So especially if you're feeling angry, you'll feel a lot more gloomy and pessimistic around issues. So don't take this too seriously. It really will pass. So the full moon is going to be in your 8th house, and there are a lot of and in Aries, and the moon is going to be conjunct Uranus, and the sun is going to be opposing Uranus. So it's really going to be a full moon of surprises. It's in your houses of income, so this could bring things to a head around financial issues. The 8th house is where we invest money, joint resources. So things could be coming to a head. So you might decide, this thing that you've been paying off, you want to cut ties with that, or you want to restructure your investments. So with the new moon and the full moon in your financial houses, you may be letting go of some things to clear up resources and invest them differently. So, this is going to, bring some chance events potentially that will help you make those kinds of decisions, what to take on, what to let go. Money could also come in a surprising way, an unexpected fashion. So on the 19th and the 20th, Mars is conjuncting Pluto. This is going to be in your 5th house. So this is a very consolidating energy. It's very intense and powerful and potent. So, there can be a lot of intensity and passion, around something like if you're involved in sports, or competition, anywhere where you compete, you'll be feeling quite, well, you're going to feel like you want to win right now. It can also bring a lot of intensity around romantic attractions and, intensity around romantic partners and children. So, and again, if you were thinking of taking a speculative risk, this could really make you want to push ahead and proceed. So just make sure, you've taken all things into account, because this one's quite a charged aspect, so you won't be sitting still. And Mercury is also going to be opposing Uranus the next day. And, this can bring chance surprises, and in your financial houses, this could be, like I said, potentially money coming in or money going out. And so around this time, you might actually take that chance and make that investment, and there could be surprising results. On the 29th, Venus is going to conjunct Saturn in your 4th house. So if there has been conflict prior to this time, this one can kind of bring things to a closure. Venus is attractive and expansive and, connecting, but Saturn is restrictive. So, it doesn't favor necessarily whimsical interactions. It favors long-term loyal interactions, trusted family members. So if there's been conflict, you could find yourself either withdrawing more at this time or, kind of wrapping things up and, smoothing things over and, establishing connections and loyalty to, family members and nearest and dearest. So you can either use this energy could go either one way or the other. Either it's going to make you a little bit more aloof and withdrawn, or it's going to make you kind of tie down things and decide, this is where your loyalties lie and this is where your commitments are. So on the 30th, Mercury is going to try Neptune. This is a very creative, imaginative aspect, so it's good for thinking, a little bit lighter. So if there have been serious issues involved, this could be a good aspect to thresh things out in a less serious way. So it favors poetry and creative expression and less serious subjects. So a little bit more light-hearted in terms of communication. And so the month wraps up with a new moon on the 30th of October, and that's going to be in your 3rd house. So that's going to shift the energies or the spotlight towards the 3rd house of communication. So this could be a good time for getting involved with a project around study or learning, teaching, and it's going to be very good for communications generally, because, there's going to be an aspect with Mercury. So, communications, teaching, publishing, so a very interactive social time coming up. So on the 31st of October, the Sun will trine Neptune. And so this wraps up the month with a, nice, imaginative, dreamy kind of connection with other people. The Neptune is in your 7th house of partnerships. So, like I said, perhaps you'll take things so seriously. It's actually Halloween, so good for costume and role-playing. And fantasy and imagination. So, like I said, October is going to be a lot more of a settled month for you. The first part of September in particular could have been quite rough and lots of radical changes, but the scales are balancing again. Things are evening out, and you really will be feeling more settled, secure, and grounded. And there's going to be a lot of opportunities to increase your income and to restructure finances and, sort out the give and take in your life, So make sure you're not doing all the giving as usual. And, because you're going to be feeling a lot more confident, like I said, you'll be wanting to take actionable steps around how you can make more money. Anyway, thank you for listening. And if you did enjoy this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.